Good afternoon, I'm Josh Reeves and welcome to Leader. Today we have Joseph Alvarez and Kyle Quigley with us. Can you guys introduce yourselves real quick and then we'll dive right in?
I'm Joseph Alvarez, been with GBA Builders for 6.5 years now. Came up in the data center industry and learned the best part about GBA is I learn almost every day.
Kyle Quigley, been with GBA Builders for going on 10 years. Spent my entire career in the general contracting world. Right now I'm operating as the Director of Operations for GBA Builders.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
So today we're going to run through some of the things that we've been working on recently. The number one thing we've all spent some time on recently is mental health awareness in the construction industry. And so my question as it applies to this podcast and leadership is, based on all the information and all the data we've absorbed in the last couple of months on mental health awareness in the construction industry, how has that changed your leadership style as you approach your coworkers and your peer group in general, whether they're in the organization or outside the organization? Joseph, you want to?
Yeah, probably a lot of self-reflection. You and I probably grew up in a transactional leadership way of, do it, rub some dirt on it, and get your butt back to work kind of environment, and trying to be more transformative in the way we do things. You do that at home with your kids, and not that our teammates are our kids, but trying to be more empathetic to situations and the true meaning of work-life balance and things like that. But mainly just me being more open and honest with myself that I need to be empathetic with the way things go, and not be so transactional like the way I grew up. That's probably the short answer, if there's such a thing.
I can relate to that. Yeah, you and I are the same age and have grown up in the 80s and 90s and rubbed some dirt on it and get back out there.
Yeah.
What about you, Kyle?
I'd say kind of newer to the leadership realm, but I would say similar to you, Joseph. So, like I said, when I started my career and started to work for Josh in 2008, so it was a lot of just rub dirt on it and get back to work. We don't really care. Oh, sorry, that's kind of a bad joke.
Was it I don't really care, you get back to work?
I think it's some of that. No, I would say not at all, but it was with what we're seeing here recently. I'm way more cognizant of it. So it was just, like I said, transactional, get to work, generate the revenue, and that's probably ingrained in my brain still, but being visible to everything else that's going on, empathetic, see something, say something. So we're not just coming from being raised by a baby boomer generation where that's the sole purpose was to provide for the family. So we go to work, we don't ask questions. If it's painful, just get it done because you're supporting your family, but there's way more to life than just transactional work relationships. So there's better quality of life there, and just being cognizant of that and cognizant of the teammates around us to know how they're feeling, because it's
like most problems, right? If you're acknowledge that there's an issue there, you can start to address it. It may not be as fast as people like or in the way people like, but you're acknowledging that there's an issue.
Yeah, and I think one of the statistics that I think I heard from you at one of the seminars I went to, but just the suicide rate amongst the construction industry as a whole is where it ranked, almost, but right next to military.
Yeah,
so
first responders.
That was kind of a eye opener to me, and like I said, everybody handles things differently. So just because I'm able to grind through it doesn't mean that everybody around me is, and you just got to be visible to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree that I think my style's changed more in terms of self-awareness and awareness of my peers, and paying a lot more attention to people's vocabulary, how they're presenting themselves, how they're speaking in general. So it's been hugely eye-opening for me as well. Topic number 2 has to do with coaching and leading the younger generation. And so,
Joseph, I'll let you take this one. I mean, I know looks may not say it, but I would say I consider myself the younger generation. So I'll leave this
We
one
do.
to you dinosaurs.
Yeah,
So
we do too. We consider you one of the babes. So, how has working with the younger generation changed or modified your leadership style, or has it?
For the most part, I try and take it, like I've coached my boys and basketball teams a lot, and baseball teams, but mainly basketball teams, and the big thing for me is trying to make sure that people know their value and their worth. That way they are confident in what they do, whatever that is, and know that they're going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. And hopefully we as leaders can make sure that's not a career-ending mistake, but that they learn from it and they get better at whatever they're doing. So I just ran into one of my basketball players he's this is fourth grader when I first coached these guys, and he's a big man now. And coach, ran into him at Quick Trip, and he's like, he went over a couple things. I used to discipline him, but I run till my finger gets tired. And we didn't run in practice. I always had an agenda and a schedule, but he went to that, and then he's like, man, I use the same line about we all make mistakes. It's what you do after the mistake, right? And so I left that with my soda and thought, that sunk in. My boys still say that, my two sons, but to hear somebody out of the blue bring that up, I really thought, okay, maybe you're onto something there, or continuing something there, but. Mainly just understand your value. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Be curious. Curiosity will get you a long ways. Yeah. That's it. I don't know that it's changed. It's fine too, for sure. You were just speaking to, we do IQ tests, and we do what we probably don't do a lot of is social. It's a part of knowing. Reading the room and that stuff, but also your social awareness of things. And so that's probably what I've tried to get better at here, especially since I've been at GBA, and kind of reflects back to the last question on just trying to be smarter with how you're dealing with all people, not younger or older, but just so happens that some people see themselves as younger.
Yeah,
like you.
Fair enough.
Some people act younger too.
Yeah, definitely that.
Mentally and emotionally.
I think childish could be one at times.
Yeah.
Or a lot of times.
We can go with that. We'll stick with that. Yeah, I agree with you. I used to tell the kids when they were younger, or when they would make a mess, I'd say we're all going to make messes. The important thing is how do we choose to clean it up. So
very similar
context, but. Okay, last question, which is for you, since
has nothing to do with age. You got it.
Since you're the younger one. So as we talk about leadership and growing in leadership in our organization, and I think generally speaking, we're all aware that communication is one of the hardest things to deal with in any organization, in any relationship. How have you adjusted your strategies to foster better, more open communication, not just at home, but at work and with your teammates and with your extended relationships?
Yeah, it's a good question, and honestly, it's a tough topic, right? I mean, it's a continual work in progress, providing the right amount of information at the right times to the right folks. I think that's something that I personally probably struggle with at times. I think maybe we all do. I don't want to make an assumption or whatnot, but that's kind of one of the points I'll hit on. But just
we don't.
Sure,
you probably might. Yeah,
I struggle getting information from either one of you daily, so I would disagree. but it's a work in progress, right? So I mean, if you provide too much information, it may not be useful, or it gives the wrong audience may have the wrong information. It could provide worry, speculation. On the flip side, you provide too little information, same thing, speculation, assumptions, like what is going on, where's the organization going. So we try to provide, or I do more, I think as an organization-wide, trying to be collaborative to get the information out. Nothing is held back intentionally ever, even though we all may sit around the table like, what's going on over in that office, like what WTF type of deal, but it's not intentional. And something I got to work on daily and with the team, but being collaborative, having meetings, getting the right people in the right meeting. If there's questions, always promoting, get up. Have you asked the question? Have you gone over there and see what your teammates are doing versus sitting around and man, they're just, I don't know what they're doing over there. It's like, so again, there's not a right answer. It's, I don't know that there's probably other items I could be doing differently, but asking teammates open-ended questions, encouraging them to ask open-ended questions. I think Joseph, you hit on it a while ago, just the curiosity, that's, if you have a question, see something, say something, ask. It's like, there's no dumb questions. We may all disagree with that at times, or we've probably seen some zingers, but there's really not a dumb question. If there's something that's bothering you, ask. And just, like I said, try and promote teams to get together and
It's like voting, right? Early and often.
early and often. Mail it in when you can, do it in person. Absolutely.
All of the above.
Yeah, since we're in a leadership podcast, I would say something else that at least the three of us have to think about is, I was trying to, equate it to like the Chiefs. If the second stream backup punter were to say the Chiefs suck because, we don't have a running back, everyone goes, "You're so cute. I wish I made as much money as you," and go on your way. But at our level, your offensive coordinator or Andy Reid says, hey, the Chiefs suck because we don't have a backup running back. It weighs more on the team. So at our level, we have to be conscious of how we communicate with everything you're saying, what we're communicating, who we're communicating to, and the real lack of not putting out information at our level. People are going to put their own story to it, and
Connecting dots.
so we have to remember.
like I said, there's always something that needs to be communicated, but to the level of detail. Because, like I said, if we're not, they're going to create their own story and not make it up. But
it's human nature to
so
fill in the gaps if you don't have all the information.
but having the right information out to the right people in a timely manner, it's tough, right? And it's never intentional, but they need to know the orders. Like as far as the orders being, what direction are we going? We've set this direction here, and we're very big on everybody has a say, right? And it's to a point. We want opinions and how to do better and whatnot. And again, it's something I got to work on every darn day.
And the bigger this organization gets, it's more difficult to get one-on-one. We're talking about mental health in the first question with our superintendents that are on an island at all. I mean, all these questions tie back together. So
Absolutely.
very important.
I think between what we tried with monthly collaborations, quarterly updates, just to spread the message, spread the word, but we're all still busy. That filters in around the day job, and not everyone is able to get there at always. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough. Part of the job. Is anybody ready for a light-hearted, fun question?
not at all.
You're not ready? Okay. I guess that's
I'm a general contractor. We take everything serious.
everything's very serious.
Yes.
Everything's very risk managed.
Yes.
Joseph, if you were a celebrity, what celebrity would you choose, male or female, not gender specific, to play you in a movie about you?
Probably Adam Sandler.
Okay, why is that?
He can be serious when he needs to be and very comedic most of the time. So I feel like, he's not.
What do you think of Spanglish?
I've never watched it. Started watching part of it. Yeah, and couldn't watch it, but.
So which Adam Sandler movie have you seen him be serious in? I don't know that I've ever seen a serious Adam Sandler.
He was just in. He had a rock that he was selling to Kevin Garnett, and he was just like a jeweler thing. And I thought,
Gemstone?
I know what
I
you're
have to
talking
Google
about.
it.
Yeah.
If I had my phone, I'd Google it for you. But
Yeah, he played. Yeah, I remember that one. He played a serious role.
yeah,
One serious role. Yeah.
yeah, that's probably
Kyle,
that's
what
very
about
reflective
you?
of my life.
What about you?
a similar concept, serious and funny. Woody Harrelson, handsome bald man, a great bowler. Even though I've got both hands, serious when I have to be or need to be. Probably too comedic though. sarcastic.
What when he was in Natural Born Killers, is that
Yeah.
funny or serious? Which one is that?
Seriously funny.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've seen that one, actually.
Yeah, me too.
So
I know there's some.
I'm thinking of the Blood Wedding where they
Yeah.
at the overpass or whatever. That's been a while. But New Country for Old Men was in that one.
Yeah, he gets killed.
New country
it's-
or no country?
Maybe it's No.
Yeah.
I think you knew what I meant, but I'm not good with titles.
I don't remember Woody Harrelson in that.
He was a detective. He ends up getting killed in that
Yeah,
one.
he's
So
always a
he-
brief, serious moment.
I'm
Please don't kill
trying
me.
to
Please
think
don't
of
kill me.
one where he's kind of a backwoodsy hillbilly with Christian Bale's in it. There's like in West Virginia, like a
I think we can just
like
stick
the-
with backwoodsy hillbilly.
Yeah.
That
There we
fits.
go.
That fits you
that
pretty
fits
good.
me well.
There you go.
So
There you go.
They have like their own mafia or something back in
Yep.
the day. Yeah. I don't know that.
But-
I would mention states or anything because this podcast goes
Yeah,
out to other
that's
people.
right.
But
We can't let
it's
no
called
states.
Quigley at. I'll give you phone number at the end.
that's given at the rolling credits. So.
That's true.
Any other thoughts for the day? Any other closing comments?
I would say that if we're going back to leadership is not, you say that's a natural born, ability or whatever. While it may be stronger in others, it's something that we have to continually work on, continually try and get better, continually try and critique yourself so that you're trying to become a leader or not most people don't give the title of leadership to themselves or leader to themselves. It just goes through, and you may have had roles or positions in your life or you're parenting or whatever that puts you in there, but you still can read and acknowledge and grow and observe others that you think are doing those good traits. So don't rest on your laurels.
Yeah. Don't get complacent because everything's changing all the time.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah, same sentiment. And it's like one leadership style may not work for your entire team, so you gotta if you're a yeller or screamer and half your team responds to that, everybody else might not. So we gotta get the most out of our teammates to be able to know what trips their trigger, how they respond. So being able to, as you guys would hit on, learning and adapting and having multiple styles. Yeah, your main leadership style may be equated to, I don't know, honest, integrity, quiet, lead by example, whatever. But you got to be able to adapt to lead more than one type of individual.
Knowing your audience. For
Is
sure.
did you say a yeller screamer? Like he's scared, like a yeller streak, like
Like
that a hillbilly
old
thing?
yeller.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Is there an old screamer? Old yeller or an old screamer? I'm not sure I'm following.
Yeah.
It's
Well, he was talking about hillbillies earlier, so
Yeah, I
I was
know.
like, "You're yeller,
Yeah.
you yeller, you son of a butt," kind of thing. And he went,
That's what I was
That's what I
trying to
meant.
figure out. Yeah.
yeah, so
He doesn't come from city dweller speak.
No.
So
he's from the coffee.
well, that's all we got today. Thank you for joining us on Leader to Leader, and we will see you on the next episode. Thank you.